Hello and welcome to Culture on I-24 News. I'm Lil Grober. Thank you so much for joining me. Today on our show, we'll talk to a member of the band System Ali and hear them play. We'll take a look at contemporary Arab-Israeli kitchen. And check on the level of freedom cartoonists have in Myanmar. System Ali are a multilingual hip-hop group from Israel, performing in Arabic, Hebrew, Russian, and English. Their music focuses on fostering coexistence and protesting injustice. On January 25th, they will perform at the System Ali Culture Lab in Bat Yam. And I'm very happy to welcome Netta Vena to our studio. Hi, Netta. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for being, Oded.
It comes naturally to me to just be. Tell me a little bit about this event coming up January 25th. It sounds like a very special event. What can people expect?
Yeah, we're very excited about this event. Actually, it's going to sum up a year and a half of work in our culture center, our Pais Culture Center in Bat Yam.
Yeah.
This is the home for System Ali's activity, artistic activity. This is where we record, perform, do our dance and theater rehearsals as well. But also a place for other younger bands or for workshops, for lessons that we give to younger artists in Arabic, Hebrew, Russian, English, and Amharic, which is the sum of the...
Sorry, I left that out.
It's okay.
But
the sum of the mother tongues.
Too long.
Yeah. So we have young artists coming from Bat Yam and Jaffa mainly, but not only. Also from Chulon, Rishon LeZion, all the area.
So it's really a place for people to meet and make music together.
Music, poetry, theater, dance.
So what? So you curated an evening from this last year and a half, and that's what's going to take place that evening?
Exactly. It's an evening. Actually, it's a platform for all the fruits of the season from the Culture Lab.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, we're very excited. So it's going to be also slam poetry and poetry reading, bands playing, video clips.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Now, this is done really in the image of the group, right?
Yeah,
and System Ali is very special. It's a very special group. Take us back a little bit and tell us how the group came to be.
So actually, it's a 10-people band. It's a little tribe. We met each other here, not so far from here, in Ajame neighborhood in Jaffa when we were younger artists.
And prettier.
Almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
And we met in a culture center that was operated by a youth movement called Sadaka Reut, which we were part of. And the moment it was located in a bomb shelter in Ajame neighborhood, and the second we opened the doors of that bomb shelter, people started coming in, ranging from the ages of 5 to 65 and speaking 10 different languages, and we started having these jam sessions, also clashing and fighting a lot, but also exchanging ideas, lyrics, tunes, and this is how System Ali came about. And so we kept on recording and working on our art, but also kept on working with younger artists and giving workshops.
And it caught on. I mean, people listen to the music, people come to the shows. Who's the audience?
The audience, our first audience is our communities, our families. You know, where this is a band that's a home for 10 very, very different people coming from very different backgrounds. So only looking at our grandmothers standing side by side in the audience is a better show than what's going on the stage sometimes. But also we're building a community of artists here. And a place for an encounter, for people to speak up their story in their own mother tongue without fear, which is something that is far from being obvious in the place where we live.
It really is. And you know, one of the most interesting things is, you said it's been 10 years already. And I think in a way, even though obviously we were hoping that it'll be more obvious for people to speak their mother's tongue and be able to communicate, we hope it'll be more obvious nowadays. But what happened over these 10 years? Some would say is actually the contrary. Some would say that in certain areas we're moving back. And I'm curious how that affected System Ali.
Yeah, you know, that's not an ideal reality that we live in or that we create. From the very beginning, from day one, it was clear to us that it's not a melting pot or this poster of peace. Kids, this is the reality that we live, is still very violent, very racist, and this is the fuel for our songs, for our passion. I mean, System Ali's music is a cocktail of rage and love and responsibility, and we keep on doing our thing and building our house anew, no matter what happens around us. It's only fuel for us.
I see. That's interesting. So in a way, you're saying that these problematic surroundings actually just made it clearer for you of the importance of the work and
Definitely, and the need for a home, for a place to contain these ideas, these passions, this rage, and this is System Ali home for us.
That's great. What are you working on these days? A new album, maybe something in the works, or you're focusing on live shows and touring in the System Ali
System Ali
Center?
is working on a new stage production. It's going to be a musical based on the life stories of System Ali members. We hope that in the next period it's going to become an album, but yeah, we create all the time. We come up with new material.
Everything sounds interesting. We're going to have to bring you back sometime for that. But until then, we want to have a chance to enjoy your music as well. So we got you to play something for us. What are you going to play for us?
Actually, it's based on a System Ali song called Vena, but it's a very special thing we're going to do today because we have Nir, who's one of the leaders of the younger artists who work with us, is going to give his own verse today. So the song is called Vena, and you're all very, very welcome to Bat Yam, to our event on the 25th.
Well worth a visit, January 25th in Bat Yam. And here are System Ali with Vena. Enjoy.
افتحوا دينكم جاي اشي جديد كائن من نوع تاني وصل بلحن فريد كلماتي مش اكبر من السيبي ولا فرحة عيد طلعت زي الحصون طبعتها شي مقدس واضح واكيد فوت على الحمام تخابى تحت الحفك اخرتها الوكع جاي يدق على بوابك ولك ايش في ايش في ايش يفتحوا دينكم ولا ايش في ايش في ايש יפתחו דינכם
תוך עולם של מרירות, אולי כוורת של הדבש מודת אסלאם שמנסה להיכנס לבית מדרש הממשל חץ הכל וזוהי תחילתו של סוף ומה שישאל זה מי תתחיל ישר לתקוף במקום להוביל את העולם לתוך מקום אחד של צדק אבל צדק רק עולם שלא נחיה פה צדק וההדק רק יחליט מי הולך לישון בלילה או מי הולך לישון לבד עם אלוהים למעלה
Слезы, пыль, кровь кипит, зверь сидит во мне, не все мешает, словно душа горит во тьме, это не сон, браток. Я нажму на курок, и ты погаснешь, как окурок, монстр мелкий, сверчок узака, на своем ослёке, fucking чок. Ты халаса, не новичок, и не качок, и не бедлана, не морги, базар, ведам, в меня хапеса за корбан, на них вставляет план. Если братан ставит капкан, такая жизнь, пацан, здесь каждый сам за себя, не поделившись в землю, он взрывает самого себя, но System Ali тут с тобой всегда, навсегда. Я не знаю, что мне делать, здесь мир, война.
Vena by System Ali. Now, Palestinian culture is very much connected to the local food. Last month, Arab cuisine was celebrated at the Al-Shams festival in Haifa. We sent Sandy Fortis there to see how the women of the region are changing the food and themselves to fit a more modern setting.
From Tunisia to Morocco, from Lebanon to Egypt, when we speak of traditional Arabic food, we tend to stereotypically think of housewives in their kitchens. A research conducted in 2011 determined that in Israel, 28% of Arab women work out of the household, and the figures continue to rise. The daily routine for many Arab women has changed. With the emergence of an upper class among Arab Israelis, the role of Arab women is changing in all areas, and also in the kitchen. This is precisely the theme of discussion by the panel of experts at the festival Al-Shams in Haifa. Ila Alpert is a culinary journalist well known in Israel, but she considers herself more as a kitchen woman. To participate in the organization of the festival holds an important meaning for her.
Trying to bring up to life, some dishes from the Arab cuisine that you don't find anymore. Some of them because they connected to poor food, poor kitchen. The people doesn't want to connect themselves anymore to this kind of kitchen.
In Arab traditional families, women have always been in the kitchen. It was the logic of things. They had never learned to cook through a methodological way. There was no cooking school. Everything they knew had to be learned from their mother or grandmother.
Palestinian women in Israel have a greater freedom of choice, although they're still expected to cook.
Today, modern Arab women have modified the traditional cuisine to contemporary taste.
Most of them still cook traditional food in combination with modern food. A great deal of their recipes consist of modifying world dishes to the local Palestinian taste, namely adding Palestinian spices to worldwide dishes.
But what is the Palestinian taste? How is it different from the Middle Eastern taste that Israeli and Arabs share in the region? Is it the same as Christian Dabdoub Nasser describes in his book, The Palestinian Cuisine? Or is it just a label on traditional Arabic cuisine? Still, even if traditional Arab women in the kitchen have modernized some dishes, it is still far from their career, while Western women have gradually become important key players in professional kitchens. How about Arab women in Israel?
That's true, and if they did it, they were hidden. A lot of them, not a lot actually, some women nowadays provide local food and domestic dishes to restaurants, very few though in the front. Some restaurant kitchen do provide dishes that were made by women. However, the customers rarely know that it's a woman that prepared the dish.
The place of Arab women in the kitchen is evolving in Israel. It was particularly seen in 2014 with the victory of the Israeli Arab microbiologist Nof Tamna Ismail in the show MasterChef Israel. Nof has become a model for many Arab women in the country. The question is whether it will really open the way.
Following the recent elections in the country, cartoonists in Myanmar are finally feeling confident enough to create satire. This newly found freedom is far from obvious in the Asian country. More in this report.
Drawing on new freedoms. In the era of army rule, this Myanmar cartoonist spent years dodging censors, who literally tore illustrations deemed critical out of newspapers. Reforms under a quasi-civilian government helped unmuzzle cartoonists in recent years. Now he's part of a flourishing satirical scene that came into its own during November's election, won by Aung San Suu Kyi's opposition.
Cartoons need freedom. The more freedom there is, the more a cartoon is able to say and be creative, so they can carry more meaning.
Cartoonists aren't short of subjects as the country struggles to rebuild its shattered economy after decades under the military. But Suu Kyi's resounding victory will present a new test. How to lampoon her as she takes the reins of power. Her iconic status means she's likely to be spared savage satire for some time yet.
Personally, I don't want to insult her with wrong objections, but I will criticize her if her party does something wrong while they say they are working for the people.
Many of the drawings at this festival in downtown Yangon would never have seen the light of day under the junta. And they're clearly pulling in the crowds.
Cartoons can stimulate debate and send a message.
Nowadays, people see cartoons as a way to say what they want, openly.
Here, the destitute family tells the politician not to help bring misery on others. As Myanmar looks to a freer future, the powerful will find themselves increasingly at the sharp end of a cartoonist's mockery.
We're almost out of time, but before we go, here's our cultural recommendation for today.
Another Look, the Restored European Film Project, is a program of films restored by film archives across Europe that will be screened to cinema lovers across Israel who wish to experience the films in their original glory. 10 films were chosen for this year's program, including the French The Umbrellas of Cherbourg from 1964, the Polish Camera Buff from 1979, and Belgian Jean Dillman from 1975. The films will be shown at the Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Haifa, Holon, and Herzliya Cinematheques during the months of January and February. The theme chosen for this year is Roleplay, Femininity and Masculinity on Film, and the various films can be viewed from this perspective or just enjoyed for their cinematic riches.
That's it from us. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all again tomorrow.